Welcome back again to Goffy's Fishing Channel. Thanks for joining us for another episode. It's been a little while since I've managed to do any filming, so it's great and I'm really excited to be back with you to share this review of the Matrix XR36 seat box. So I've been using the XR36 Pro seat box for a little over 12 months now, and I've been really chuffed with that seat box. I think it's really performed well. I've had no problems with it. It's been really excellent for my fishing. I did say about 12 months ago that I wouldn't be upgrading that box for a long time to come, but I have to say that Matrix have really outdone themselves with the latest XR36 box. For many years I've been waiting for tackle manufacturers to manufacture a H-frame seat box. So by a H-frame seat box I mean one that hasn't got your rig trays underneath, and essentially it's a H-frame and footplates separately. I've been waiting for tackle manufacturers to make one of these in a 36mm leg for many years, and without physically having one fabricated yourself, which of course a lot of people out there have done, tackle manufacturers haven't really made a 36 seat box in a H-frame. So it's a real big shift in the market for me, and I think it's something that's really going to catch on. Now, the reason I think a H-frame is a more suitable box than the standard frame is because of the height adjustment. So essentially on the XR36 Pro you can't actually adjust the distance between the footplate and the seat without adding stacker drawers and stacker units, which, okay, it's not a real problem because you can just add drawers in, but the thing is if you want to go out on, say, a river or a canal, maybe you want to put your box on your shoulder, then you can't set the height to exactly what you want it without having those drawers in place. So obviously if you want to slim down and get the weight of your seat box down, then that's very difficult to do with the H-frame, with the Pro seat box. I did find a way of doing that, but essentially what you have to do is remove the footplate altogether, and that'll shed some weight, and then obviously you can set the height then without worrying too much. But with the H-frame, the two are separate, and by having them separate it means that you can set that height to wherever you want it to be. So if I wanted to remove all the drawers from this box and just use it as a stool, then I could do that and just raise the height of the frame from the footplate, and that brings lots of advantages really. Another thing with this seat box, because it's 36mm legs, it means that you've got that stability that you've got in the Pro seat boxes, which you've never had up to now with a H-frame seat box. So for me, 25mm legs, as I said before, I'm a big guy, and 25mm legs, they're really not that stable really for big guys. 36mm offers a lot more stability and a lot more confidence really if you're fishing dodgy venues with high banks, maybe rivers where the ground's really soft and things like that. You want to make sure that your seat box is going nowhere when you get in the water. Another benefit that I've found with using 36mm legs is that you don't always have to use a platform. So on places like Patsell Park there are some pegs where you can use platforms, but there's many where you don't need to, and it's a lot to carry if you don't want to take it with you in the car. It certainly saves space knowing that you don't have to have a platform. And on a lot of venues, if you've got a 36mm seat box with good adjustable legs, like this has, then essentially you've got that height there that you really don't need a platform. So those are the two big reasons why I think the H-frame seat box is superior really to the Pro seat box. So Matrix have included the lock-in footplate mechanism exactly the same as the previous seat box, the Pro. That's tried and tested now. I've been really happy with that. I've heard of no problems with these footplates. The lock-in mechanisms, I mean, I submerge mine in water more or less weekly, and I haven't had any problems with any of the parts failing, anything going wrong. So I think that design's proven itself. I'm a little bit disappointed again that Matrix haven't included a spirit level on the side of the box, because for me, I think that's really important to get that seat box itself level. And as I explained on the Pro review last year, there is this issue with having the footplate level and the seat box not being level. That said, if you set the H-frame up nice and level on a flat floor, you don't tend to have to move the legs too far. I never ever move the big screws on any of the legs, so even on the footplate, all those big hand screws, they stay exactly where they are. I only ever make my adjustments with the smaller leg extensions, which are further down. And by doing that, it means that you can return everything to its normal position without too much hassle. To alter all 4 leg screws on the top of the frame, it's exactly the same as altering the big screws on the Pro box. It becomes very cumbersome. You can get your box out of level and out of alignment pretty quickly. So top tip there, really, always use the lower leg extensions where possible. So yeah, footplate's fantastic. Obviously, with the removal of the frame, Matrix have had to come up with some sort of holster for that footplate to lock into, and they've done that in the form of this bar just across the front. That is really robust, nice and thick and solid and heavy duty. That's certainly not going to let you down. And I much prefer one unit that's totally aligned with each other rather than having 2 separate blocks, which I've seen on previous Matrix seat boxes. Those 2 separate blocks, it's very easy to not get them the same height and things like that, and you don't quite know that they've moved. So that's much better to just have the one bar, and it certainly makes it a lot stronger. I mean, that's absolutely solid, that is really. Another thing to mention, so the seat's more or less the same as the Pro box. It's a nice, hard, firm gel seat which softens over time if you're a big guy like me, but I'm sure for everybody it'll soften and get more and more comfortable, I think. Certainly mine hasn't give up. The stitching and everything around the outsides has been absolutely perfect on my Pro box, and the seat's absolutely immaculate. I've had no problems with that whatsoever, so I know that's going to stand up to the test of time. You've got your classic drawers. I've got mine all filled up, so exactly the same. This box only comes with 1 drawer, but that's the same as the Pro box also, so that's not too much of a problem. I've added another shallow drawer in there, so it comes with a deep drawer. A new addition to this box, which I think is fantastic for a Matrix, is this is a new compartment which essentially is underneath the seat. So inside there, I'll just show you that, you've got essentially another tray. It could be used as a rig tray, or just like I'm using, just to put a few bits and bobs in there. I've got my tickets and things in there. That is a really good use of the space inside the H-frame. I've not seen that with any other boxes on the market, so I think that's really clever for a Matrix there, and I'd expect to see that space being used probably on the next Pro box when that comes out as well. I think that's really smart, a really smart move there, and it gives people that extra little bit of room. Again, you could use this box as a stool, put your seat directly onto that, and it would mean that you could still put a few small items of tackle in there without carrying all your drawers if you wanted to go a long walk on a river. So that opens up some new possibilities there. Again, it comes with a strap. I haven't got the strap on this at the moment. The same strap as the Pro box. Really comfortable shoulder strap if you the type of person that takes your box on walks. In terms of its weight, it's lighter than the Pro box. I wouldn't say it was the lightest seat box on the market, but for me, I think the strength, it's certainly carryable, which is important, but I think that the strength and the durability of the box is probably more important for me. I mean, 9 times out of 10, in fact probably 95 times out of 100, I'm actually putting my box straight onto a trolley, so I'm not carrying it very far. But on those occasions where maybe I would want to go on a walk, on a short walk on a river or something like that, I'd be quite confident that I could take my drawers off this and carry this on my shoulder down a river with a net bag and a rod, and I think that'd be absolutely fine. So overall, yeah, it's a small modifications really on Matrix's behalf, but I think they've just done an excellent job in executing the seat box. It's really, really, really well made. The box section, it's not box section, but the section that they're using for this seat box is just so strong and so durable. You can tell it's really going to stand the test of time, and I'm really looking forward to taking this seat box out on the bank. So another thing that I've bought to go with this seat box is the new Matrix self-supporting side tray. So that, I'll just show you that. It's the first I've seen of its kind where the leg essentially sits inside the side tray, which is really quite clever because it reduces the distance. It reduces the distance that the side tray is away from you. Now if I just put that side tray on there, initially I did wonder, I mean this is the large size side tray, I did wonder if that side tray was going to be strong enough without any legs, because it's a good size really, it's a decent size side tray, and I did wonder if that was going to be strong enough. But just to prove its strength, I thought I'd do a little test. So I've got a big hefty bucket of ground bait here. I've actually mixed this up for this weekend fishing. So you can see there, I mean that's like well over half full. There's a good few kilo of ground bait in there, and that's wet as well, so that's already been mixed up. And if I just chuck that onto that side tray there, so that it's absolutely no problem at all. I mean, put that right on the edge of that side tray, and it's just no problem, absolutely no problem at all. So I mean, well done Matrix. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there now which are making self-supporting side trays. I've seen a really good one from Garbolino. They've made a nice side tray, but they really are. These side trays are really, really, really good. The outside rim is a completely new type of section that I haven't seen before. I don't think Matrix ever used this on any of their previous trays. They've made some really nice corners. It just looks really rugged and really well thought through. The way in which it supports itself, it's got just the one bar, but because they've put the positioning of the actual leg hole itself and the essentially the ribs that they've put in place, it just makes it really, really strong and really robust and rigid. So I can't see that breaking. I think that's going to be absolutely perfect, and it's just the right size for me. There is one bigger than this, which is the XL side tray. That looks really nice as well, but for me the large is big enough really, because I also use a ground bait bowl attachment on the back, so the large is more than big enough for me. In terms of the size of this seat box, so packing it away into the car and things like that, it's more or less exactly the same size as the Pro Box. So it feels very compact when it's closed away, and in fact it's less than 600mm deep when it's closed away. We just have a quick look. In fact, it's less than 500mm deep closed. And then when it's open, it's a really quite spacious box, so it's almost 800mm from back to front, and it's offering you like nearly half of that. Yeah, nearly half of that is actually leg space, so it offers you the same amount of room as what you've got on the Pro Box, and that was a problem with the previous H-frame seat boxes, is the leg room that you've got, and these legs were nearly always right up against your knees, and that's no good really when you're trying to fish matches and you've got feeder rests, particularly butt rests on the legs. You just need that extra room around you. So I think they've done an absolutely cracking job with this. and only one thing remains really, and that's to take it out on the bank and give it a test. I can't wait for this. Let's go and have a look, see what it's like on the bank. I'll catch up with you soon.
I've really enjoyed tackle testing the new Matrix box today. It's been a really difficult day on Stoke Hall, but the box has really stood up. I've loved using it, and I'm really looking forward to the next 12 months using this box. Just one thing remains, but today's fish back